What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. If you guys are liking these videos, please do not forget to subscribe down below. Today's video is going to be on why some people will never become financially free, right? Some people will never become financially free. It's more of a mindset thing and not about the money you're actually going to be making. In the beginning, you got to realize that your mindset matters way more than how much money you're going to be making in this lifetime. No matter what type of money you start making, your mindset matters. Your mindset on how you understand money or how you think about your money matters way more than the actual money you're going to be making. So one of the first things that I've realized is that a lot of us were living paycheck to paycheck. There's nothing wrong with that, right? In the beginning, you live paycheck to paycheck because this is what everybody does. Those are the steps that we're given. Go from kindergarten to first grade, from first grade all the way to fifth to high school, then high school to college. They tell you to go to college, go to school, get a nice degree, do whatever it is that you have to do. Then from college, you go into the workforce. Then from the workforce, if you're even able to find a job, as hard as it is to find a job nowadays, if you're even able to find a job, then you get a job in your career and you work paycheck to paycheck. But majority of people, they spend everything they earn and they leave nothing to invest or save. So your mindset has to change. The way you understand money has to change. The way you plan with your money has to change. Simple habits like tracking your income and tracking how much money you actually spend on your bills, on your expenses, is very important. Creating a tracking habit and a discipline where you can build a system that keeps track of how much money you're actually making and how much money is actually being saved will help you in the long run. If you're in your early 20s, if you're in your early 30s, this is a system I would strongly advise you to do. Like for me, I started in my early 20s, I started keeping in my notes pretty much a budget tracking system where I can track how much is going out, how much is coming in. So I was able to plan off that money. So this is a system that I would like you to incorporate. We live paycheck to paycheck, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But the issue, I think, the issue with living paycheck to paycheck is that you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're basically scrambling, just trying to make ends meet every week because you're spending recklessly. Your expenses are way more than your actual income. So you have to find a way to prioritize the amount of money that's actually going out. If you have to cut out a few Netflix subscriptions, if you have to cut out your Hulu subscription, your ESPN, I don't know what it is that you have that you're paying $10, maybe $15, $20 a month, any type of subscription service that you have that you're paying, which you don't need, cut it out. If you like going out all the time, cut a few going out weekends, right? Cut them out. If you're someone that can't let go of that, then you have to actually look inside of yourself because it might be impacting your financial future. If you have to take a minute to lock in and grow something, right? Stop going out a few weekends. Instead, take those weekends to study stocks. Take those weekends to study investing. Take those weekends to actually dive into a passion that you like and that you can work towards. Then do that. You have to kind of shift your mindset on the way you think so you can get out of state of just working simply paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. Then once you're out of this paycheck to paycheck lifestyle and you've created something, right? And now you've also created something and you have this habit of tracking, knowing how much money you're making and knowing how much is going out. Then you have a full system. That's the base of your system. So those are the two things that I want you to prioritize when it comes to just the amount of money that you're making and the income and also your expenses. You have to also learn that your habits that you build when you're young, the habits that you build early on, they compound over time. So you're consistently doing the same thing, whether it's good or bad. You're gonna see that end result once you get older. You're gonna be like, look 10 years and be like, damn, this is what I accomplished because these were the habits that I was consistently, these were the same, I was doing the same thing for the last 5-10 years, and this is why I'm where I'm at right now, whether they're good or bad things. So just think about that. I think the second thing that's keeping a lot of people back is the lack of financial education. When I say financial education, it's people not understanding how to invest, people not understanding taxes, people not understanding credit cards, people not understanding how car loans work, people not understanding how mortgages work. These are all the things that we probably should know, but schools don't teach them necessarily because for some reason they don't have an incentive, I guess, to teach us these things, especially investing. I never remembered a time in high school where someone talked about investing or someone talked about taxes. There was never a tax class in my high school. There was never an investing class in my high school. Right? There could have been like a economics class in my high school. But when I was in economics class, I just remember them talking about GDP, macroeconomics, microeconomics, supply and demand. Those are the regular topics they talked about. But those things are not the things that actually make you money. Once you start talking about investing and teaching people how to invest into the stock market, teaching people how to invest into their 401k plans, teaching people how to invest into their Roth IRA accounts. Once you start doing those things, that's the actual wealth builders. Those are the actual wealth builders. But for some reason, they didn't teach us these things. And I think a lot of people not having this information is going to keep our communities back, is going to keep us back. Because for some reason, these are the things that can make us money are the things that they keep away from us. So it's up to you to actually go out and get this information yourself and go learn it, right? Do not be someone who just allows, just because they didn't teach it and they didn't go out of their way to put it in our school curriculum, to not go find the resources, go out and learn it yourself. That's why there's videos like this. And that's why there's multiple creators out there on YouTube who are teaching and preaching this stuff, because they're actually people who are building wealth off of the stock market. They're building wealth off of investing. They know how to do their taxes and use taxes to their advantage. They know how to use credit cards to their advantage. So if you're not actively being someone who learns this, I know a lot of people just think, man, I'll learn that some other time, or I don't really care about that. But to function in this world, in the world that we live in, you need to understand all of these things. This is your life. Like, this is actually your life. If you don't realize it, don't put too much stake on the amount of money that you have in life, but also realize that you can't go and live life without having some sort of money and without having some sort of understanding about how money works. It doesn't correlate. It's not going to work. You need to understand taxes. You need to understand how credit cards work. You need to understand these things so you can use them to your advantage. You need to understand specifically investing, because this is where real wealth is built. So learn how to become an investor into the stock market. Learn how to make money. Learn how to use credit cards to your advantage. Learn how, when you're using your credit card, there's a minimum that you should be using. 30% of the actual amount that they give you. 30%. So if you have a credit card and when you first turn 18, they give you a $1,500 as your amount that you can use. $1,500. You should only be using around $450, $500 a month. That's the only amount of money that you should be using in this credit card, so you know that you can pay it off. Any more than that, you're just spreading yourself too thin, and by the time you need to pay it, right? By the time you need to pay, especially as a youngin, by the time you need to pay, you might start struggling. Then they're going to add interest on your late payments. So think about that before you get a credit card. Think about that. Well, think about that before you get a credit card, but you also need a credit card. But think about that while you're using your credit card. Is a spending limit. And also don't use your credit, like do not use it, because that's another thing. They drop your points if you don't use it. So occasionally, once a while, for gas, for food, use your credit card, then pay it back in a lump sum. And that will help improve your credit score. The third thing I think that's blocking us from reaching financial freedom and being aware is our mindset blocks. We have a lot of people that think getting rich is luck, right? Getting rich is just for some families who are born into wealth, who are born into richness. No, you can break that cycle for your family. We can be the person that breaks that cycle, right? Why don't you be the person that dedicates their time towards going out and getting that knowledge? You can be that person for your family. All right? Don't have a mindset block and think that these rich families, they got it out of luck, right? Yes, majority of them probably were here before. You know, they learned everything that they're supposed to. Their families, their grandparents, grandparents, great grandparents, their cousins started a business and now they're successful. But you can be that first person in your family to break that curse. Why don't you be that person? Do not allow others limitations and the way they think about you to dictate how you go about your life. They already have a stigma about you. Oh, these people aren't meant to know what investing is. That's the stigma they might have about you. Don't allow yourself to be like that. Break that barrier. Break that mindset. I think limiting beliefs allow people to stop thinking grand, and it allows them to not think about their future. Right? So whatever we think about ourselves right now is usually sometimes how we think we're gonna live our future. Right? I know everybody aspires to be something in their future 10 years, 20, 30 years down the line. But do you actually have the discipline to do that? Do you have the consistency built up in you to continue and keep on working? Do not allow mindset blocks to stop you from being great. Do not allow mindset blocks to stop you from being financially free. Right? Set systems in place that will allow you to be someone who is successful for tomorrow. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you find something off of it. Please do remember, this is one of the most important things. I want you to create that budget tracking app so you can keep up with your income, keep up with your expenses. That's one of the most important things that I want you to do. If you found insight in this video and you liked what you heard, you liked what you saw, please comment down below and subscribe so you can keep up with my videos. Peace.